So before I get into this video, I want to share with you that if you're watching this and you're a woman under 40, if you're a woman under 35, that the earlier that you can start, the better, because you do want to be strategic about your life. And of course, when you're younger, then the odds are really in your favor. Now, this isn't to say that if you're over 40, that there's no hope. Actually, just this morning, I received an email from a former client who shared with me that she had met a really nice guy, a really great guy, someone who's into her, someone who's consistent, someone who's making plans for their future. And he wants to come and visit and travel to see her. And so what she shared with me, and that the really exciting part about this is that once we return to a sense of normalcy, like this is something that she can look forward to. Okay. So that's why I'm sharing with you that this is the time to really develop yourself, because there were practices that I shared with her that she implemented that kept her grounded, kept her confident, kept her in a space of not only attracting men, but really receiving him. So she didn't have to be like, oh, you don't have to spend that money, or you don't have to see me, like, oh, that's too much, and really deflecting the attention and the desire that she really wanted. Okay. So I know for women, over 40, like you really want to meet someone who's stable. You want to meet someone who is ready to settle down. But the truth is that, the older we get, the more difficult it is to get back on that horse. And in terms of finding good men and attracting good men after 40, it can feel really hard. It can feel really hard because maybe you've been divorced more than once. You felt like you should have, you should be a certain level by the age of 40. Maybe you have your own built-in family already. You've created a life for yourself, and there's a fear of giving up that sense of independence. There's a fear of losing yourself along the way. There's this fear of, if I'm being honest, that you feel like you've reached your peak already, like the peak is already passed in terms of your market value, and that you may even feel like you're on the decline. So all of this plays a role into what's happening in between your mind. What's happening here? This is the thing that's really impacting you in terms of meeting a quality man after 40 and really being able to attract and receive what it is that you want. And so really the problem becomes, because of all of the things that's happening in your head, what the truth is that your skills are mediocre. You have mediocre skills in meeting men and attracting them and really getting to know them, especially in this digital age, like where it's all about social media and people, we don't really know how to interact anymore. And so the women that I work with, they always come to me and they have their checklist. Okay, are you a Christian? Boop. What do you like? Do you have a good job? Boop. Like debt level? Boop. Like whatever it is on your checklist. Okay, can you provide? Check. And there's this sense of showing up with it like you're on an interview versus really being able to connect with someone, which is what men really want to feel from you anyway. So before I even go forward, I really want to hear from you. Like, what are some of the challenges? What do you believe is different in terms of dating after 40 as a woman? Like, I want you to go ahead and post something in the comments and share so that I'll know where you are. And it also will help me to create more content as we move along. So now that I've shared that, one of the things that I really want you to know, or a tip that you can follow, what you need to do right now so that you can feel really solid, so that you can feel stable, so that you can feel in alignment, is really a part of the feminine allure formula, right? And I want to share with you step 1 in the feminine allure process, which is really get clear on what you want. You have to know what you want and get clarity, not only on the type of men that you want, but what do you really want to feel and what do you want to experience? Because oftentimes we women put so much pressure and we have a tendency to be like, well, I want a man who got this and he got that, and he got this and he got that. Yeah, and he can be all of those things and be good on paper, but something still doesn't feel right. So once you have this down, once you are totally clear on what it is that you want, then you have this framework, you have direction. Because oftentimes what I hear is that, like I remember before I got married, I would ask, well, how did you know? And people would say, I just knew, like, I'll just know it when I see it. I'm like, what? No. What I've come to learn is that who you marry is a decision. It's a choice. Like, in addition to how you feel, it is, you ultimately just make a decision. When you are clear on what you want, then you can find someone who's a great fit. Then you will know what it is. You'll know what it is when you see it. And then you can see if there's a sense of reciprocity in the relationship and in the dating process. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, This is step 3 in the feminine allure formula, is that you got to have fun. You got to you got to like have a life. You got to take the pressure off, because that's the thing. When we reach a certain age, as I said before, it becomes more difficult, and we can show up with this sense of, desperation or thirstiness, or maybe even not giving of yourself because you don't want to show up with a sense of desperation and a sense of like thirst. And so what happens is that you are really guarded, and you're not really giving off no kind of vibe. It's just like blank. And it's just like, are you even interested in me? Right? So don't let anyone fool you. There are fears that you have to overcome at every step. Okay, there are fears that you have to overcome at every step. And it's not just like attracting a man is one thing, but being able to get and keep and sustain a relationship while also maintaining yourself is another thing. And so that's why I've developed this process, this feminine allure process, to be able to assist you, because this is something that I have experienced myself, and it's being able to, like, you can apply this process to anything and use your feminine allure to not only like to love in life, I should say, for lack of a better word. So I hope that this information served you, right? What is it going to take to find good men after 40? Number one, you got to get clear about what you want. You have to be the vibe, right? You have to know that he's coming well before he crosses your path. And then you have to like take the pressure off, relax, have fun, stay grounded. There are certain practices that you can do to apply in your life. And going forward, I'm going to be sharing some more of these practices. Okay, so if this video served you, I want you to go ahead and click on the link below in the description box. I have a free training for you. It's no cost. It's called the 5 shifts that my clients have used to find and keep Mr. Right. You can go ahead and click on that. My name is Monique Head. I work with single women of faith who are ready for a relationship. Maybe you've been through some really tough stuff, but you're still a little rough around the edges and you struggle with finding love because of it. Okay, so if that sounds like you, you're a woman over the age of 35, go ahead and click on the link below, and I will see you next week. Take care and God bless. Bye.